friends and colleagues. I would like to thank Dr. Meteni for inviting me to this important events. And I'm really honored to be with you at Ain Shams University, the Famer Foundation organization, to share with you this very important event. I would like also to thank Dr. Ashraf Omar, the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, for his leadership in this area. And I would like to welcome my dear friend, Dr. David Gordon and Janet to be with us in this event. So I'm talking here in my position as the chair of the Reform of Medical Education Committee at the Supreme Council of University. And I might start by giving you some information about the medical school in Egypt. We have till now 34 medical school in Egypt working and active. 21 of them are public school, 7 private school, and 6 Al-Azhar school. And Al-Azhar is the religious organization in Egypt. On the pipeline, there are also other 9 faculty of medicine are coming out. 5 of this will be in 2021 and 4 in 2022. So we have lots of medical school actually. If I come to the number of students in this medical school, it's really amazing. I can tell you only the number of medical schools in year 1, 2, 3, and I have access to this years exactly, and I will tell you why in very soon. So we have about 95,000 medical students, medical school students in the only first 3 years of their medical education. And we have here in Egypt 2 programs, a program going in as a discipline based, which is 6 years, and then 1 year house officer. And the new program, it's an integrated medical program, which is 5 years, and then it will end it by 2 years as training like the house officer or the foundation years. I can tell you also that the number of faculty members that serve these 95,000 students are almost 7,800, which is a big number actually. So these are what we have in Egypt. The regulation of these schools in Egypt come from number one, the Ministry of Higher Education. It's a very active minister, and they are responsible to all universities, but I feel always that medical school have lots of implication from the Ministry of Higher Education, because we have such number of students that they will be becoming a doctor in the future. And then the Supreme Council of University, which is responsible for the regulation of all higher education in Egypt. And then there are sectors. So there is a sector for medical schools only. This is the one that I am in their planning board, and I work here in the committee of the reform of medical education. I'm honored actually to be in this committee because we did a lot. This committee actually started in 2017, where we had at that time a discipline-based methods of education, and the orientation of the education was faculty member oriented, not student and not patient. So when the RAMP committee, which is the reform of undergraduate medical education, came, we saw that we have to change this, and we have to work with more integrated curriculum all over the 34th faculty of medicine. And we did a lot of awareness for 1 year to all the School of Medicine, and we have changed starting 2018 the way of teaching in the medical school in all the School of Medicine. We became an integrated program. We moved to competency-based education. we moved to have student-oriented education. This committee actually is doing an auditing for all the university every year, and maybe I will tell you a little bit about the auditing of 2020 at the end of this talk. Uh, Within the COVID uh, problem or the COVID phase that everyone has suffered from it, the Ministry of Higher Education actually did really a very good job within all universities in Egypt. And the Supreme Council of Universities starting to update and enhance the electronic system in all universities in Egypt, including the Faculty of Medicine. They have invested a lot in the platforms. Uh, they they apply the Microsoft Teams in most of the Faculty of Medicine, and they did a good amount of training to all the Faculty of Medicine in Egypt about the e-learning and the blended learning. Most of the Faculty of Medicine nowadays are working synchronously with the Microsoft Teams platform to all their courses. So they most also of the faculty member uploaded their material on this Microsoft team, and they are using the dashboard. They are using lots of blended learning in this, and the faculty member had been trained, and also the student had been trained to use this e-learning and the blended learning material. The most difficult part of this was the clinical part. The clinical part in the education, actually, every one of us thinks that it needs to see the patient and to come up with the patient and to deal the communications with patient, not communication online or communication, hybrid communication. In the Faculty of Medicine, many of the schools actually started to invent or uploaded a case scenario for the cases that the student should have learned or should have been trained. Centrally, also, the Ministry of Higher Education was actually, and the Supreme Council of University was actually motivating all the schools to do this scenario case, base case for education. I believe it's not enough. The students believe it's not enough, but sometimes you can't do anything with lockdowns that we are facing in. Also, the other side is the assessment. The Ministry of Higher Education canceled the face-to-face assessment in the last year and motivate the school to do research or to do online examination at home. But there are lots of difficulty in this because not all the students can have access to internet. Not all the students in the governorate, in the late governorate, can reach internet and do this type of exam. So they decided that this assessment will be pass and fail, and without adding the grade to the general GPE for all the students. So, and also they motivate them to motivate the student to do research, and the faculty medicine to let the student do research and assess this research. So it is an online, and nowadays actually we had closed all the faculty of medicine or all the universities this month as mid-year exam. But we have to come back and we have to be ready to continue our examination and our system online. The last thing that I would like to say that the RAM committee, which I'm honored to be its chair, we did an auditing visit to all the universities this year, and we did also capacity building on the blended learning and the online learning. And we did a survey. It's amazing that we had 18,000 students submit a survey about the e-learning and the blended learning. The result is not yet published, but I think it will be something very good when I publish this result. Lastly, I would like to thank Samar for inviting me and for facilitating this recording to all of you. And thank you very much.